Hey guys, it's Alex, and this is a console review. I wanted to get a better angle of some of these things in here, and my head is gone. It's cut off. And I have my curtains facing me. Anyway, I said this in a previous video. I would probably wait till next May to do this, but I kind of said, fuck it. I want to give you my views on it and tell you about it. I've actually shown you this on earlier videos, but let's go in depth. We got the Sega Saturn, and I talk about this thing all the time. Now let's take a look at the front. You have two controller ports. This is Sega in white print, and the Japanese one is black print. And the entire Saturn's like white, and it has different colored power buttons. So that's basically the front. I mean, they have weird little lines, curves, or whatever, carvings. Let's see, let's look at the right side of it. Well, for me it is nothing really, just more line implants, or not implants, designs. There we go. More designs of lines. They got really creative with the design of this thing. The back. Well, let's take a look at this. Since my camera backlight shines on it, you have your power plug-in or adapter, whatever you want to call this. Standard cable, like AV cable or RF cable plug-ins. Get AV. Stay away from the RF cables. They suck. For the Saturn. And then you got this. I think this was meant to go online. I never quite figured that out. Actually, you know what? I can figure it right here. Yes, no one ever establishes this in a Sega Saturn review. This is a communication connector, I think it's called. I just read it, but I have a terrible memory sometimes. That allowed you to go online with, think about 5 games. 5 games. One was Virtua On, the Cyber Trooper ones, the robot fighting ones, Daytona Netlink Edition, what else? Saturn Bomberman, and a bunch of, there's 2 other ones. I can't think of them. I think there might be more. You get, some warnings. There's the model number MK8000. That's 3 zeros. 4 zeros and an A. See, it's backwards. I cannot see. Skype. Yay. Alright. Over here, now this is a little cover up for your internal memory. Pop it off. I said pop it off. There we go. Take that off. And here it is. Now you may be thinking, where the hell's the battery? Well, that is right here. Don't mess with it, because that saves your internal. You have an internal clock in there, so you might want to keep that in there. And every year, like, these things last for a year on the Sega Saturn, unlike at the Dreamcast where it kills the VMU battery or just the batteries in general in like 5 hours, or just over time. This saves your data as internal memory. Not too much, but you should be fine. And yeah, internal clock, pretty cool. So there's not much to that. If I can get it back on there, there we go. That's it for the sides and the backs and whatnot. Let's look at the front. Well, on the front you have your power button. Best power button ever. It's so solid, it's not flimsy like the PlayStation 1. Reset button. Now there are some problems with the reset button. I mean, it works, but the thing is, sometimes when you're playing a game you hit reset, sometimes it goes to the beginning of the game or just the start menu to the game. Sometimes it takes you back to the Saturn menu, which is a little bit annoying but not too bad all the time. When are you ever going to reset your game? I mean, come on. Why would you not want to play Sega Saturn? Alright, right here you have your open button. Whoop-de-doo. Let's close it. Now let's take a look at the disc tray itself. Okay, it says Sega Saturn, obviously right there. That's really weird. I mean, this light goes straight upward. It's not flat. It has to go up because it's special, isn't it? Now, right here, jeez, I gotta get a little crazy here. You see this right here, Sega Saturn symbol for America. It's different over there in Japan. Now, this open spot right here, this little like plastic part. If you put a disc in there, you can see it spinning when it's on. And this right here is the cartridge slot for your backup memory. Now, I thought when I first saw this for the very first time that little thing right there was used to play Sega Genesis cartridges or Sega 32X, which would be epic. But no, it's for backup memory. The Action Replay 4-in-1 thing where you can play Japanese imports. You can play, or you can use like cheats basically, save and save data. That's basically it. I understand why it says 4-in-1. I don't know what the 4th thing is. So that's basically it, and yeah, that's the console. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, it's It's the biggest console I think I own besides the PS3 and 360. This is probably the biggest classic game console I have. So, yeah, pretty big console. Now let's move onward to the actual controller that you'll probably use for your Sega Saturn, comrades. Hi there. I can see my head. I am so bored. Alright. Well, let's take a look at the controller. This is Model 1, the one that came with the Sega Saturn. You know what? I think I can use my skills to make it stand up by itself. Let's try it. Oh, no. We're here. Oh, no. Screw it. Alright, well, let's take a look at it. It is weird looking. I'm going to be honest with you, it's one of the weirdest controllers I've ever seen. But, like, take all this plastic stuff off and get a Sega Genesis 6-button controller. The D-pad, which is probably the most coolest part of it, it's not just like a Sega Genesis D-pad. It, like, has a concave and you just rotate it. You don't have to push up like this or down like that, left like that or right like that. You just, wee. Okay. Right there, it says Sega Saturn. That is pure win. And a Sega Saturn symbol, even more win. It says Sega right there, and it has start. And it says start right there. Kind of a thick start button, like it's hard to push in sometimes. You got your A, B, C buttons, and the X, Y, Z buttons. Now on Model 2, it says something weird on it, like it has to do something with the tracks in the main menu, which I will show you actually. Yes, I'm going to show you stuff on the actual Sega Saturn menu. Alright. Up here you got your trigger buttons. Now these are terrible. I mean, they work perfectly fine, but their design is terrible. You think you could just click them right here, right on the very tip, but no, it doesn't work. You have to click them back all over here, which is stupid, which is what the Model 2 fixed, which I will eventually get. I don't have it, sadly. Basically that. Now it has a shit ton of plastic around here. That glossy stuff, that's basically all it has on the Model 2 controller, which is epic. The back, yeah, it's just weird. Anyway, let's take a look at the plug. Yes, I'm showing you the plug for your Sega Saturn controller. Alright, let's pull this out again. This is the plug for your Sega Saturn controller. It's not too hard to miss because this is definitely not a Sega Genesis. Sadly, these don't, or Genesis or these don't work with each other, sadly. Alright, now right here it says Sega, and you can actually, when you put your finger over it, actually it's carved out. You don't see that anymore. That's pretty cool. It has little studs there. They don't actually have studs. It's just, you know, there for the hell of it. Get this little, like, I don't know. I don't know what to call this. Like a little circle thingy. The plug itself works perfectly fine and awesome. It's pretty awesome. Just plug it right in there and yay. For some reason, the second controller port is a little bit tighter. Probably because I don't use it. Well, that's basically the controller. I'll show you the games, and I might show you a little bit of gameplay from each. One game I already showed you gameplay of, which I'm about to show you. The first game, I'll tell you the games, you gotta get these games anyway. I didn't take 2 games down because they're just terrible. These games I recommend you get, because they're pretty damn good. So you probably saw already, but first game I recommend you get is Sonic Jam for the, well, Sega Saturn. This is a great compilation of Sonic games. It basically has Sonic 1, 2, 3, 3 Knuckles, Knuckles in Sonic 2, and Blue Sphere. It's the best. You may be saying, well, why is it the best? I mean, you know, Sonic Mega Collection, or, you know, Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. Well, you may be right in that case. Well, Sega Saturn's a 2D powerhouse, and that made this game look pretty damn good. I mean, sound effects are a little wonky, so there's some little tiny glitches, but there's nothing major that destroys the game from being awesome. I mean, it says, let's see, it has, you know, all the classic games, and it has its own little 3D hub world. Sonic's very first 3D hub world game kind of thing. So we'll call it first 3D-ish game. Kinda. I mean, there's no levels, it's just a very big, very tiny hub world with a bunch of missions you can do, like collect 10 rings in like this amount of time, or be this fast, or get this, that, blah, 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 blah. Then the hub world, it shows like a bunch of stuff you can jump on, rings, and there's little item boxes there that tell you hints or cheats, or cheat inputs for Sonic 1, 2, or 3, or whatever, which is awesome. Then, not only is it just the games, you can actually find old Japanese commercials, which is epic. You can find I think you can find U.S. commercials. Well, I don't think so. I mean, there might be some that are very similar, but whatever. Then there's music. Awesome. That's pure awesomeness because Sonic music is the shit. Awesomeness. Then there is enemy artwork. There's like Dr. Robotnik artwork. Yes, they call him Robotnik. And then they have Sonic artwork, Tails artwork, Knuckles artwork, and a bunch of other characters that they used in the past, which are no longer around. Like some of them aren't. Like Fang. I don't think they showed Fang, but maybe they did. They have all the enemies from Sonic 1 to 3, and fucking Slicers. Duh! I think they have Sonic CD enemies. I don't know. But, now, the cool thing I like about Sega Saturn cases, beyond that, are the cases. You might be like, well, what the hell? These cases are notorious for breaking. Yes, they are. But once you have it complete, it looks fucking epic. I mean, look at the artwork. That is awesomeness. I mean, it looks cartoony, but that's what it's supposed to be. The side looks really nice when it's on your Sega Saturn shelf. No, it's over. Come on. Here we go. Sega artwork just on your side of your shelf. It looks awesome. Either way you have it, it's the same thing. On the back, you have a bigger description of what the game is about. Da 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 da, and it's 2 players. I always like how Sega did the 1-player, 2-player thing. It's just so different. Alright, the next game I recommend you get is Mega Man X4. That's how they say it. Well, another game that was great by Capcom, which should just die now. Okay, very great game. All right, people say this is a superior port to the Mega Man X4 version, which I don't blame them because it has faster loading times. Music is a little bit better, and the voice acting quality is a lot better. Video quality, I don't know if there's any difference, but damn, it's awesome. Same thing with the artwork. It looks nice, etc., etc. I recommend you get this game. It's really good if you have enough money. This game is actually kind of rare. Now the cases, I didn't explain that. Cases are pretty damn big. I mean, look at that. Woo! Alright. Take this out. This is supposed to keep the disc from falling out. There's different types of these. Let me pull up Sonic Jam again. Let's see. What's that? Put that down there. So this is the Sonic Jam one right here, and this is the Mega Man X4 one. Don't know why. Well, I'll put that back later. This is supposed to protect the disc from being popped out, or just, you know, because I actually got Magic Knight Ray Earth, a rare game I should be showing you, because I can't right now. It didn't have one of these, and the disc was just like sitting in there, not in its place. I almost had a heart attack because I thought the disc would be scratched up. So this is what the cases on the inside look like. Basically that. It's really a lot of space for discs to get scratched up. But, I mean, the most epic part... God, stupid Skype. The coolest part about it is the manuals. Yes! Because they're so... Some of them are colorful. Most of them aren't. The one that is super colorful is Magic Knight Ray Earth. Why am I not showing you this? God damn it. Let me just put Sonic Jam and stuff back in its place, and I'll show you some more games. Yes, this is the most unprofessional review ever, but whatever. Get my point across to you people, why I think this thing is so badass. Alright. This is Tomb Raider for Sega Saturn. This is on the PlayStation 1, which you probably should get. I got this for the hell of it, because I needed Sega Saturn games to play. This case, it's okay. This is the original Magic Knight Ray Earth case, like the top part. So, I don't want to mess with it too much. So, yeah. Like I said, they break easily. I have 2 football games, actually. No, not football. Hockey games I just bought to replace the cases. But, the cases themselves, one's cracked, like someone just took a knife and stabbed it, or whatever. Then the other one just was detached, which is really annoying. Next game I recommend you get, I don't think this is on PS1, but this is a pretty damn good racing game. Wipeout. Yes, Wipeout HD is on PS3. Alright, here's another thing I have wrong with it. The manual, it sinks. So when you just look at it, like the manual's like sunk in. Can you see that? Comment below if you see it. Look at it! Fairly great game. Whoever the fuck had this, why'd you do that? Seriously, why did you do that? You don't need to cut out the barcode thing. It's not like you can rebuy it. Jesus Christ. One thing I think is weird, that most of the discs are either red, blue, or silver. Kind of weird. And remember this, where they used to have in-game advertisements on the back of the manuals. Those were the days. I'm only 16, but I've seen that in a lot of games when I was little. Next is Jesus Christ. The first entry of the series, and I want to get the third one, is Panzer Dragoon. Awesome on-rail shooter. I mean, it's hard. Don't get me wrong. If you do easy mode, for example, it still is a bit challenging if you know what you're doing. Now, if you don't know what you're doing, one thing I recommend you do: don't just mash the A button, B button, C button, whatever you use to actually attack. Hold that button down, go around the screen, you'll lock onto enemies, and let go of the button, it'll kill them all, basically. Which is, I learned this hard way, but whatever. So yeah, that's Panzer Dragoon, and the case on the inside shows a advertisement for Daytona USA, which is a game I wanted to get. I mean, I got the port for the Dreamcast. Oh shit, Dreamcast, but the damn thing didn't work. You know? Oopsies. Let me fix that. Yeah, see, look how easy these things detach. It's really, really pain in the ass. And there we go. Alright, making sure that this didn't get loose. 2 more games. I know this is going to be a slow-ass review. Thunderstrike 2, my very first Sega Saturn game. Yes, this game is very fun. Great helicopter simulator. It is on PlayStation 1, so I don't know if this version's better or the PlayStation 1 is. But considering this is 3D, 3D, probably the PlayStation 1 version is better, because Sega Saturn is known for not being a 3D powerhouse, but a 2D powerhouse, with spaceship shooters like Darius Gaiden, I don't know about Galactic Attack, I don't think that's one of them. Radiant Silvergun, which is on Xbox Live, which I'm not spending $100 to get on Saturn. Maybe. But, yeah, so that's that. Last game I have, which I bought from the SoundGround Investo. I bought Thunderstrike 2. Funny little story before I go into that. When I bought this, the back art was flipped upside down. So I'm like, wait a minute, is that normal? But the person fixed it. So hold on, let me just grab the last game, and then we'll head to the menus. Alright, this game I got was not that interesting. Like, ooh, look at that. It's 2-player, and it's a fighter. This game is called Resurrection Rise 2. It's okay. I spent $8 on it, I think. Someone's trying to break in my lair. It's an okay fighting game. I don't think it's worth your time. It's okay. If it's like $3, go ahead, but anything more than $8 or $10, not worth your time. So, with that said, time to go on to the menus. Yay! Show me the menus. Now. Yes, I will show you the menus now. So, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, let's take a look at the menu. And this is the startup. Not as quite epic as the Japanese one, but still it's pretty cool. Now, this is the menu basically. Now you got your pause, play, backwards, skip forwards, pause, stop, and all that. Kind of weird, right? So you got all these controls. Let's first go system settings. You got the clock, the language, the memory manager, and other settings. So let's check the clock first. And for some reason, while I record this, the clock was reset to March 13th. Don't know how that happened. So we're going to reset it to December 9th, 2011. And it was like 5:32 a.m. or p.m. Here's the thing I don't like about the Saturn. See where it says AM, you can't like go over there and switch it to AM. You gotta go all the way through the hours again, as you'll see. See there. And so the time is correctly set. Language. You got English, French, Italian, Dutch, I think it is, Spanish, and Japanese. Like I said, there's no backup memory, or clock if your battery in the back dies. There's all your save memory. You can remove it simultaneously, and it'll show you in the top which one you want to remove. You can clear it all, but be careful how you do this. So, let's get out of there. The other settings. The other settings, you can have button labels, audio, and sound effects. Basically, I think it's only on the actual menu. Alright. And you can hide the controls. You can treat yourself to this pretty cool space, screensaver looking thing. See, it looks like the old like Windows space background. And you got a ship looks like the Canara or Canaria, I think it is from Star Fox. All right, then there's advanced controls. Well, there's repeat and advanced controls. This is where shit hits the fan. All right, you get adjust vocals, which is the pitch of it really low, really high, but it's kind of useless because I don't have any music playing. Program sequence is basically which one you want to activate first of a certain soundtrack. Surround sound, you can change the tracks wherever you want. You can scan intros, clear all the settings that you made on this menu. Repeat certain songs, pretty cool. So now we're going to switch discs. Let's put in, say, Mega Man X4. We're going to put that in there. And not only does it play games, you can actually play its soundtrack, which is pretty awesome. So, while that loads up, it'll take a little bit. Still checking disc format. Come on. Come on. There we go. So you can start the application on top left to actually play the game, but music, the sound quality for the Saturn is amazing. Alright, let's see the third track. There's only 2 tracks in this game. The first one contains data of the game. Oop. Okay. See, only 2 tracks. So, you can repeat it, but that's basically like a regular CD player. Alright, let's go to advanced controls. Alright, so you got scan intros to see how many there are, or whatever. Then there's the adjust vocals. Here's the weird stuff. Well, actually, first we gotta go activate the music. Let's see. Play. Oh, wrong one. No. There we go. Let's see what happens. Ooh, we got Dark Evil Mega Man. Then we get super cheery, really annoying high-pitched Mega Man. Sounds demonic, actually. So there's nothing special for that. Now, program sequence, you just play the tracks you want, whatever order you want. So that's not too special either. So, you can change the surround sound. So we're going to play a track. Doesn't matter what it is. Let's try it. Now, it allows you to hear better, like right now. Other than that, it's nothing interesting. Not too bad, not too great. So it's pretty good. The sound is amazing. So yeah, that's basically the menu. So hold on 1 second. Well, that was basically it, the review. And that was like 20-something minutes long. Might be actually 30 by the time I'm talking here. Well, I don't hope I don't do it to you guys. Anyway, well, that was actually my review on the Sega Saturn. There are some things I missed real quick, so I might as well want to cover them right now. I think I only missed a few. Yeah, just a few. Alright, the actual Sega Saturn, I'm actually going to go more in depth on this. The Sega Saturn's X-Marine Play 4-in-1 actually allows you not just to cheat, it actually allows you to, well, obviously cheat, and allows you to save more data, or data, however you say it, a lot of data. So, the last thing that's awesome about it is you can play Japanese imports. That is awesome. So, that's basically the X-Marine Play 4-in-1. Anyway, let's see, another little hidden goodie if you want. If you don't want to use the reset button to actually, reset your game, you use the Sega Saturn controller. You just push ABC start. It goes back to the main menu of Sega Saturn menu, or just the actual game menu or whatever. So that's basically that. Now, another thing I didn't actually clarify is that the Sega Saturn can be a CD player for the games. Not only just the games it can do, the only one I found that it actually works really well is with Mega Man. I mean, Sonic Jam can do it, I think. Wipeout can do it, and Rise of Resurrection 2 can do it. I'll have to check out, and Panzer Dragoon, that can do it too. I'll have to check them all out. But you can actually use regular CDs, CDs that contain music, real music in real life.
You can actually put it in the Sega Saturn and mess around with the settings, check out the surround sound stuff or the vocals or whatever. You can make a girl sound like a guy. You can make a guy sound like a gill. A gill? A girl. Something like that. There may be other things I missed, but other than that, that's all I can think of that I missed. But other than that, that's it. For Sega Saturn review, that was about as long as my Dreamcast review. I got a lot to go over, and there are some other things I missed still that I don't have. I know I said I'm done, but I'm not. There is a few more accessories. There is the 3D controller for the Sega Saturn that is basically the precursor to the Sega Dreamcast controller, except it's black. It's a little bit smoother than the well, it's about as smooth as the what do you call it, Dreamcast controller. The analog stick or thumbstick, whatever you want to call it, is a lot better. There, instead of 4 buttons on the controller like A, B, X, Y, there's A, B, C, X, Y, Z. The start button's there still on the bottom. The D-pad is a lot better. It's basically the Sega Saturn Model 2 D-pad. But yeah, I don't have to show you that. Anyway, then there's the Virtua Stick, which is obviously for the Virtua On fighting game, the robot one, and Virtua Fighter 2. So, that's basically what that's for. And I don't think I can wrap up any more games. Well, I can recommend a few games, Obviously, ones that are fucking rare, Magic Knight Rayearth, Albert Odyssey, Panzer Dragoon 2, and Zwei. No, wait. Zwei and 2 are the same fucking game. Panzer Dragoon, Zwei, Saga. Yes, Saga. Good luck with that. Dragon Force, Burning Rangers. These are games I want to get, but I don't have. Yeah, Sonic Jam, I already showed you that. Mega Man X4, and Mega Man 8. You gotta get that too. So that's basically it. That's all I missed. So, yeah, that was actually my Sega Saturn review. I could have waited next year for this, but fuck dates, fuck anniversary dates. The Sega Saturn does not wait. So, I will see you next time.